It's raining horrid filth. I'm the Wizard of What, and welcome back to Bileberry. What are these little things buzzing around? Where are they going? The reason they keep appearing and disappearing, these little swarms, is because they're going up and down Z layers. Oh, it's mosquitoes! Ugh! Just when I thought Bileberry couldn't get any worse, I guess there's like all this moisture everywhere. And there's little dots hopping around. So there's gonna from now on basically be like occasional spam of like canceling weaving thread, because the loom automatically, if there's thread that can be turned into cloth, it'll just automatically queue it up. And then eventually they'll run out and they'll go, well, there's no more I can make, so Alright, so I'm getting some plants milled here. And I think that's mostly going to be like dimple cups into dye. If I have that right. I'm pretty sure dimple cups are dye. I'm trying to remember. And then sweet pods get milled into sugar. And then the slurry will actually be rock nuts, which then you can press into... does it press directly into paper? I forget. No, that's right. Sorry, this is the thing, like, with paper is fairly new, so I know how to do it. I just, like, explaining it is like, no, rock nuts go into rock nut paste. Right? Paste? Then how do you get rock nut oil? Do you press it into oil? Because I know you use the oil to make soap. But I'm trying to remember. I might just be completely, like, losing my mind and forgetting entirely how paper works. But once I get to paper, I will be able to sit here and tell you the entire process. I'm just not doing that yet because I don't have a library set up, but I will get to that eventually. And a tavern as well. I'm just not sure I want to start cleaning that out yet. Although it is nice to get that influx of soldiers, because you get people coming in and wanting to soldier, which is nice. Alright, so we have that. That's right, and I didn't go past here because I wanted to keep this a thing here. Oh, is that nozzle? Yeah, she's detailing the floor. What are you for detailing? It's engraver. It's the skill I'm looking for. Dabbling. Alright. And smoothing stone, it doesn't matter what their skill is. All that changes is how long it takes. But for engraving images, the skill does determine how like high of a quality the image is, as with any other sort of like craft or anything like that. Let's see. So I guess I'll do like a hallway going around this big open thing. I'm not going to have it around the north end up here yet though, because I'm probably going to want to like at least double the length at some point. So we'll put in our tannery right here, and there's room above. Yes, there is. You know, honestly, too, I should just probably make it like 2 floors high and just have like another big stockpile up there. So I should probably do anyway. And maybe I'll get lucky and one of these stockpiles will hit bismuth. Nah. I'll never be able to say that right. Suddenly, I'm very confused. Okay, so I just need 2 for the leather works and the tannery. That's all I need. Let's put those in. Okay. See, now this is more like a fort. I got dwarves running around all over the place doing things. I am like flitting between 0 to like 3 idlers. That's pretty good. Hey, my rock doors are done. Excellent. Let's see. I didn't put on stuff for the nobles though, did I? Unless I made extras. I did make extras, but that's probably from before when I was just like, oh, always good to have a bunch of doors. You know, I think I talked about this in Cut Arrows, but like, I guess going off of watching newer players play, I think one of the reasons Dwarf Fortress is so interesting to watch other people play a lot of the time is because it's such like an open game. And, you know, the joke always is like, oh, there is no winning in Dwarf Fortress. There's always losing, which is basically true unless you have a goal set out for yourself to do something in particular. The game is never going to tell you that you've won. But because it's so open and there's so many ways to play it, it's really interesting to see how people decide to play it. And that's why, you know, going back to saying it's interesting, or it's fun to see new people, like, make rooms that are way too big is because, you know, that's the way you could do that. You could say, I'm going to give all 200 of my dwarves, which is like the default cap, like 10 by 10 rooms just to be extravagant. They're all going to be made of gold, like whatever. And you know, in fact, the reason I got into Dwarf Fortress was watching someone else play it. If you're not familiar with Boat Murdered, that's one word, boat and murdered, Boat Murdered, that's the name of the fort, is a really old Dwarf Fortress, what do they call it? Do they call it like Legacy? Succession, they call it a Succession Fortress, from the Something Awful forums, and that is like one of the best like playthroughs of Dwarf Fortress. It's just so entertaining. Like, if you haven't read Boat Murder, just Google it. It's on the Let's Play archive for Something Awful. It is a joy to read. It's a really old version of Dwarf Fortress. I think it's the 2D version before they had multiple Z layers and like there's just like one kind of map, but it's something else. There's a couple other good ones on there too as well. I'm trying to remember the names of them. There's like Syrup something, but so, you know, how I actually got into Dwarf Fortress was watching like a Let's Play of Dwarf Fortress ages ago. And we've got, who was that? I missed it. Outpost. Oh, these are the dwarves coming to trade. I really need to move this trade depot down. But I will move some stuff over. I should have some more things. I do want to just bring all the finished goods bins, basically. Because, like, here it's saying that it's, like, headwear, but, like, you'll notice this one bin is shared between these two sections. So I'm just, you know, going to bring the whole bin, because there might also be, yep, there's crafts in those bins. Let's see, is there anything else? And I think what I'm looking for this time is, like, meat and plants, maybe? We'll see. Let's see, how's my booze going? I haven't been checking on that. All right, booze is great. Let's go to the kitchen. Seeds. Don't cook any seeds. Hazelnuts. Oh, those are like nuts. Those aren't seeds, I guess. Cook. Yes, you may cook those. That is fine. Don't cook the drinks. That is the most annoying thing. That is something, you know, I keep going back to like new Dwarf Fortress players. But like, if you embark and then make a kitchen and tell a dwarf to just cook stuff, and you don't take your booze off the cooking, they'll just cook all your booze. It's gone. It's all food now. It sucks. I hate it. Alright, do I have pigtails on here? Alright, do not brew my pigtails, because those are for cloth. Plum helmets or whatever. Quarry bush leaves, also don't cook those. Those are good for other things. Pretty much everything else. Sweet pods. Like I said, you can make sugar out of those, but I don't care that much. So that's fine. And all the fish and stuff is whatever. Alright, we'll request our trader. He's sleeping, so it might be a little while. The liaison will come in. Talk to my dwarves. It's raining. Florf. I love watching all of the junk spill out of the wagons. Wagons are really great too, because sometimes the game like does this weird thing where because like right now in Dwarf Fortress there's no way for the game to have multi-block sized like objects that can move, so technically wagons are like creatures in the way that they function. And so every once in a while, you'll actually see on like your deceased list or in the Legends viewer, like on a list of things that were alive, you'll see wagons because they somehow made it onto that list because they're technically like creatures because of the weird way they work, which is great fun. You'll see like wagon. It was the first of its kind. Ooh, I ran out of wood. Cool. Well, I guess I'll get some stuff from up here since I know I don't have access to a lot of the caverns down there. And there's plenty of trees up here. I'm sad. It used to be that, and I think I talked about this in Cut Arrows, but it used to be that when you cut down a tree, you got 1 wood. And then, not too long ago, like I think within the last year or so, Toady changed it so that when you cut down a tree, well, he changed it so that trees aren't just things on one tile, so they actually grow upwards and have multiple tiles of space they take up. And so every like tile that the tree is produces a wood. Oh, the world is the same as ever. What requests do I have? Meat, maybe? Meat would be good. Not leather. No, animals. That's what I want. I want animals. Where are animals? Cages. Not cages. I want cages with things in them. Can I even request animals? That's a good question. I don't think I can, actually. Which kind of makes sense because this screen, I think, is kind of static, but, you know. Let's see. What's something? I'll request something that dwarves farm rather than some like random thing. Yak. You know what? I'm just gonna, you can just yell at me. Please consider import agreements. Please. Tanned hides and headwear. Great. Farewell, nozzle. It's also interesting, the changes to the, like, that whole sequence is, like, when your last cancel is, like, finish peeking in on the agreement, and that's because, like, right now you're kind of just this, like, weird ethereal force that doesn't really exist, but I think that Toady's trying to transition it more into you having, like, a more, like, real presence in the way you interact with the dwarves, or that, like, you control them through a particular dwarf. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but I think that's something he eventually wants to do. If I am correct. Which, you know, actually I wanted to talk about succession forts because I mentioned that and didn't explain what it was. That's where somebody, or where a group of people will start a fort and then every so often, like usually every year, they'll send the save to the next person and they'll take over. Which can be really fun and interesting, honestly. And a lot of times they will actually name one of the dwarfs after the person currently playing, and sometimes they'll even like make them like the mayor or whatever. If you can, I don't know if you can like assign people to expedition leader, but they'll do that. Or you know, you could just do it with profession names. That's fun. There's a lot of fun emergent storytelling that comes from that. All right, so I don't need ale, reindeer. Okay, I'm going to take these 2 reindeer because they have a breeding pair. They have another one, but it's male. And I already have 1 male. I don't need more than 1 male. So I'll take that so I can farm the reindeer. That'll be fun. I don't know. I feel like you might actually be able to make stuff out of their antlers, but I'm not sure. Let's see. You got barrels. You got drinks. Don't care. You got an iron crossbow that's worth ungodly amounts. Let's see, weapons. I'm not going to bother too much with weapons. I'm going to try to make my own as much as I can here. Just as much as I start finding stuff, which I really need to start exploratory mining more. Alright, this is still equipment. So you got some bags, sandbags, which I could actually use because I don't have sand here. I could use those to make glass. Although that's really obnoxious to me to have to import things to be able to create stuff, so usually I don't even bother. So there's flour, plaster, cave wheat seeds, sure. Pigtail bag. That's just a bag made of pigtail cloth. It does not have pigtail in it. Let's see here. Cloth. I'm not too worried about cloth or leather. I could grab some leather. It's usually pretty cheap, so it'd be nice just to have some in case I need it. I should probably make sure I actually have enough like stuff that I can trade for all of this though before I add much more on here. And it looks like I will if I put all these mugs on. And I do want to keep a lot of mugs, but like I don't have a lot to trade right now, so I'll just make more. It's not like I'm going to run out of stone. Cut to episode 500. I've literally used every stone on the map. That won't happen, by the way. Like, both in that this fort will not go that long, and I would not make a series that goes that long. Let's see. Alright, here's some critter parts. When you butcher them, they make a bunch of prepared stuff and meats. Let's see. Eagle intestines. Delicious. Just gonna grab some cheap stuff here. And I don't really need this food either. I'm fairly confident I have enough like plants and fish to go around for a while, but you know, it's just nice to have more. Let's see, plants. No. These are all above ground plants, and I'm not planning on growing stuff above ground, so I could use them and I could cook them, but I'm already trading for some stuff, so that's fine. Cheese. Don't want any cheese. Alright, that's pretty good. I'll offer him a little bit more, just because I want to go over a little bit. And also, like, the wealth you created matters, but what matters a lot more is how much wealth you export. Or rather, they matter for different things. I kind of forget the specifics. I always feel like an idiot when I'm like, oh, well, it works something. I forget, but there's just like so much data to remember in this game. And if I was just sitting down playing casually, I might go, and go look that up on the wiki, but... And that's something as well I would recommend. You know, I guess it's a little late to be like, oh, if you're a new player, but... like, if you see something that you don't understand... No, I probably said this in Cut Arrows, probably. I forget, but... You know, if you're, like, watching a video like this, or anybody's video, and you just see something that you don't understand at all, and it's confusing you, or you want to know what the deal with it is, it's like, just, like, you know, put the video to the side, and get on the wiki while you're watching it. Or pause it. I don't know. I'm a serial multitasker, so I'll, like, watch videos while I do several other things, but I know not everybody likes to do that. You know, I'm sure at some point there will be at least one person who's playing Dwarf Fortress and watching me play Dwarf Fortress in a window. Because I know I've done that. Remember, I took a look around and I didn't see any Bismunithilimimlmnlelite in the walls in these caverns. That I remember seeing anyway. Maybe I'll turn this into like an archery range or something since it's getting so big. I guess I'll leave the barracks for now, even though it's got ore in the walls. Yeah, press liquid from paste. So you make the paste, and then you turn it into this stuff. That's how it works. Mash plants into slurry, process plants, yep. Alright, well, now that I have some food and stuff, I'm just going to put my brewery and kitchen on repeat. I think for now I'm going to go for fine meal, and that requires 2 pieces of food. Lavish is 3, and simple is 1. Probably need more barrels. Oh, I forgot to make that leather stockpile exist. Could I have phrased that any more strangely? Probably. What's the liaison doing? Is he trying to talk to Nozzle? But Abel's like, just not now, I'm smoothing stone. It would probably be a lot more, it'd probably be a lot faster than that, but assuming that even picked up on the microphone. I already have a cabinet on there. Doors, cabinets, table, chair, weapon rack, armor stand, coffers. Coffers and chests are the same thing, by the way. I mean, they're not literally, but in Dwarf Fortress, functionally, they're the same object. They're both storage containers. You know, a chest is like... You know, actually, I don't know, because I know, like, a coffer is basically a box with, like, a lid. And a chest, when you think of a chest, it's like the wood with like the iron around the outside, but since they don't use iron, it's probably not that kind of a chest. So I don't know if they actually have like hinges on it or if it's actually more of like a wooden box or something. I guess you could like just have the wood be able to like have those sort of like mechanisms to make like a lid that lifts open, but I don't know. It's just going to be a little symbol to me, so it can be whatever I want it to be. What is that? Are those my reindeer? What does that eat? Did I catch something? I caught an echidna! Now I have Dwarf Fortress with Knuckles, Bileberry and Knuckles, and Knuckles, and Knuckles. Alright, that is the reindeer. So is this a wild echidna? Yeah, okay, yep, that's sure a cage. It's probably a wild echidna. Yeah, not tame. So, I'm going to tame this echidna. I do have... Yep, Drakenrengi. He's my good trainer. And then the fun thing here is that if you train a certain animal enough, then it will become familiar to the dwarves, and when the liaison shows up and they're sharing information, they'll actually share with the rest of the civilization how to train echidnas and, you know, other dwarves. I've never seen it like actually like play out that a dwarven civilization can start embarking with those things, because I think that would take a really long time, but theoretically it's possible. Where was I? Alright, I was gonna put the reindeers out. Oh ho ho, Merry Christmas, but instead of snowing horrid filth falls from the sky. And Santa's made of goo. I need more barrels. Barrels and pots. So here's what I'm gonna do. Barrel. Borrel! Barrel. Wood. 10. Pot. Rock. 20. Let's see. Sheriff. Guess I should make some copper chains for a jail. Or copper cages. I mean, either way. Hammer. The hammer is fun. He's, if you don't have jails to punish dwarves with, the hammer will hit them with a hammer instead. Because dwarfen justice, I suppose. Right. But exploratory mining, I really need to get to that. And unfortunately, usually I try to mine like below my fortress, but there's not really a lot of below. There's a lot of magma below, so... Because it looks like it doesn't... The exploratory mining doesn't look horrific, but it doesn't really look nice either. So I could do it like up here, and then I could get more... what flux do I have? Marble. Yeah, marble's nice. So exploratory mining kind of goes like this. Or this is how I do it. There's a lot of ways to do it, because basically you want to be able to see... you want to hit veins, and they're pretty long, so you don't have to do it this way. But this way, the way I do it, you find all the gems as well. So the idea is... Mouse. Okay. They'll mine through here and reveal the two tiles of stone on either side. And so if you have a gap of 2 here... Why does the mouse keep getting centered? basically I'll see every tile. Okay, mouse, if you want to hang out in the middle of the screen, that's your business. Okay, and then usually go out like this and just kind of have horizontal ones going between the vertical shafts here. I think I'm starting to run out of stone anyway, so now what I should do, and actually what I probably will do, even though I do want marble, so I'm just going to do this to see if there's anything here and get marble, because that's a good stone to use for stuff. I'll probably go and look at what layer Bismunithilimlmnlelite is on, because it will only appear in certain like geographic layers. So then I can at least you know, figure out where to look for it. So I'm going to go do that. Okay, so bismuth is found in granite, which is interesting because it's not actually a layer, that's a specific stone. So I just need to find the granite layers. Diorite, microlane, what is this? Diorite. It's probably lower than it is higher, but I'm just going to look upwards anyway. Gneiss. Hey, Veronice. I made that joke in cut arrows, didn't I? Cut arrows. Aachen words. Alright, granite. Oh, so the granite's all the way up here, actually. And that's where the tetrahedrite is as well. Alright. So that's actually pretty interesting, because I'm going to be... Oh, and this is granite as well, isn't it? I'm going to be mining up above my fort. Alright, well that's cool. So this is granite, so I'm just going to shoot some shafts out. And then also I can find all these... this is tetrahedrite. I can find all these tetrahedrite veins. Unfortunately, though, that's going to mean there's going to be kind of a long trek to get the metal down to the smelters, but that tends to be the case anyway, and that's why wheelbarrows exist. So, you know. Alright, and the real question is do I also put some exploratory ones on the other layer? And I feel like I probably should, and will. You know, the funny thing, too, is I think the reason I do these exploratory lines the way I do is from playing Minecraft and doing it that way. And, you know, I could make a whole video on Minecraft and how much I don't hate the game itself, but I hate a lot of things around it and how it turned out. Because I got into that during, like, the early alpha. And so, you know, I won't go off about that, but it's just kind of interesting to me how that translates over, because it's also, like, sort of mining. Well, it works the same way anyway, because it's all, you know, voxels in that. Oh, you know, near the end of this episode, too, I should probably, or episode, I don't know how I'm going to cut it. At some point... Because that's really annoying when I say that and then I'm editing it and the end doesn't go where I think it's going to go, and it's just like a whole thing. But anyway, I should, because I have DFhack, that has Stone Sense built into it, so I should look at my fort in Stone Sense at some point. Because that's fun. I should really figure out how Armrock Vision works too as well, because that's fun to use, because that actually gives it to you in 3D. Gonna put in some more rooms. I'm gonna have some wobbly halls, unless I make this like a 3x3, which I kind of don't want to. I kind of like the idea of having wobbly halls. Do it like that. Yeah. I know at some point too I'm gonna be like redesignating on Wormstone cancellations, and I'm gonna make a room wrong. It's just gonna ruin everything. I'm gonna be very sad. Oh, and if I go over here, I can also do this. I guess do this. Yeah, the little staircase won't be even anymore, but what are you gonna do? So I have my cap set to 200. You can mess with that in the config file, which is very easy to edit, by the way. There's one thing I'll say about Toady is his I've never, you know, obviously I haven't seen the code for Dwarf Fortress, but the way like above the code all like the tags and stuff is laid out is very nice and organized and readable. I mean, in some ways, not in others, but that's neither here nor there. But at some point, probably, if this fort lasts a while, I probably will have 200 individual rooms. That has happened to me several times. I'm kind of interested, though, in trying a fort with a lower soft cap, which is like how many migrants can show up, like down to like 50 or so. Because you never need 200 dwarves. You just don't. Like, you're gonna have people who aren't, or you're gonna have dwarves rather, who aren't doing anything. Are dwarves people? I think dwarves are people. But I guess I said people, and I thought, like, that's kind of a phrase used to refer to humans, I guess, but I don't know. Am I a dwarf cyst? Of course not. We've established I'm an elf cyst. It's really funny too if you look between that. Oh, I said it again. Oh, migrants. But I was saying it's really funny if you look at the if you compare the goblin and the elf morals, because like they're kind of different. Like the goblins are more like traditionally moral in certain specific ways. Where are these migrants? Oh, they're coming from over there. Let's see, 1, 2, huh? 2. All right, they brought some animals though. 3. 3? Just 3? Okay, that's fine. Getting small migrant waves, which is fine. Like, what's my worth at? Yeah, like 20,000. That's not a ton. The danger zone is like 100,000. I can't remember. I think I might have, yeah, because normally it's like 80,000, but I turned it up to 100,000 because cut arrows was supposed to be like more of a beginner thing, and so I said that as a way to, like, you know, I'm talking about the wealth attack requirements. So I think it's up to 100,000 in this world. That's like the danger zone where you need to make sure your military and stuff is up to snuff. Maybe I'll find a magma sea that I haven't seen and just flood the whole fortress with delicious, delicious magma. Let's see, why are my miners not mining? Probably for a stupid reason. Oh, okay, yeah, one of them's trading. The other one is digging. He's just digging down at the bottom. Oh no, warm stone. I hope the warm stones around here make it so that these rooms are pleasantly warm and not like sweltering. Because, you know, everybody wants to be nice and comfortable and warm. But when it gets too hot, it's just all like sweaty and gross, and I hate it. I don't like any temperatures, though. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, I'd much rather be hot than cold or cold than hot, but I just want it to always be like 68 degrees forever and just never have weather or temperature at all. Needs logs. Let's see here. Ah, that would be why, because I only have one woodcutter and they're doing other things. And woodcutting is one of those things where it takes a little bit of time. So if the dwarf has a bunch of other stuff they're supposed to be doing, sometimes they don't get to it. Let's see what this stone crapper is doing. Not much. You can be a woodcutter. For some reason, though, you can't have a woodcutter also do mining, and I'm not sure why. Bookbinder. Probably will only need the one. That should probably do it, but... See, still getting rooms dug out. Still getting... Warmstone spam. Merchants will be leaving, which is fine. Already traded with them. Let's see how much furniture I have for these noble rooms. I'm using the same thing I did to put down the gravestones to look at the quality of the doors. To put nice doors in the noble rooms so that they're happy. Usually I do cabinet and bed in one room, and then the table and chair for the office, and the dining room, and the 2 other rooms. But I do not have enough things, so I'll have to wait. Wait, and continue fixing wormstone spam. And hopefully once they get that done, they'll start exploring some of these other spots I've designated. Because I really want to find the stuff I need for bismuth bronze. That would be very nice. Because then I could make weapons. Apparently I can't words today, but what else is new? I'm trying to imagine what a dwarf stopping because of a wormstone would be like without the abstraction of like the player input of just designating things magically. It's like they dig like a foot and then they run off to the foreman like, hey, I found a damp stone. And the foreman's like, yeah, I know, you're digging under a lake. Yeah, go on, keep digging. Then he runs out, he digs another foot. I found a damp stone. Need more logs. Ooh, whoops, I canceled his job. Well, he is busy making stone. I forgot that. See, I didn't consider that a stone crafter is also going to be doing things a lot of the time, so let's get a third one going. That bookbinder is not going to have much to do for a while. What's going on up here? This is kind of getting to the slow phase a little bit because I'm kind of just waiting for doors to do things one way or another. So I'm also designating some mining down here in my search for Bismunithilimlmnlelite. Just so I get, because this is where the granite layer bottoms out. So I have some exploratory mining. So if I go down, it turns into, what is this, gneiss. If I go up, it's granite up until here, which is, I have stuff designated. So I just want to make sure I can find some. I'm also getting absolutely spammed with needs logs. And I'm not sure why somebody isn't just going and cutting them down, but I suspect it has something to do with needing another axe, which I have queued to be made, but oh, and there goes somebody. Okay. Well, that's good. So I believe it's actually, yeah, Tomato, because I think I had him, the new dwarf is male, right? Yeah. He was on brewing or cooking, I think, so he was just kind of on a loop down in the kitchen. So I gave those to a couple of more farmery types of dwarves so he could come up here and make some stuff for me. Got my gem cutter going away. I'm having him cut marble because of what I said earlier about it having a slightly higher value. And, you know, obviously, like, putting stones onto something doesn't give nearly as much value as gems, but it still does add value. So that's nice. Otherwise, still trucking. Finally starting to get some logs, it looks like, so that's good. I'm assuming it's because an axe just got made. Oh, people are coming down to pick up weapons. That's something, I guess. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing or sharing it with someone else who you think might like it, and I hope to see you next time.